And good morning to you. Welcome. We are live at Milligan College again on this Monday, ready to go, July 10th, 2017. Thanks for being with us. Show number 553. And gosh, we're loaded for bear again on this Monday, July the 10th. We're here at Milligan College. The basketball camp is up and running. You got a record number of campers. You'll hear them in the background. There's a ton of them. 150 kids, I believe he told me. And so Coach Robinson will be joining us coming up here in a little while. Also, Daniel Monjay, the sports information director, joins us from Milligan College. He'll be by here in a few minutes. Let's put that up here just a little bit better. There you go. Also, we'll be joined by Mike Hedrick from Northern Virginia, the NASCAR fans reporter. He'll be joining us coming up here in a little bit. Also, we'll have the Gator Man coming by, and we'll be joined there as well by the Gator Man joining here from Cherokee Barbershop, plus trivia, and just talking about what's going on with the Gator Man himself. And then also, Coach Bill Robinson is going to join us. Do want to say thanks because Friday's show had over 3,200 views, which may be a record number for us. So it continues to grow, and can't thank you enough for that. By the way, before we go to the break and get ready for Daniel Monjay, check it out. There you go. Enter to win the TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, coming up 2 weeks from this past Friday, we'll give you the chance to go to Dollywood, a couple of one-day passes, and all you got to do is go here at TomTaylorSports.com/contest. The winner's going to be announced on Friday, July 21st. Thank you to Jeremy Livesey at JeremyLivesey.com. We appreciate him very, very much. Again, saying we want to give away tickets to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So, again, we say thanks to my man, Jeremy Livesey from Mortgage Investors Group. So, we'll take our first break. We'll come right back. We'll be ready to roll. We've got coming up later on, we got all kinds of Major League Baseball. It's All-Star Game week, of course. All-Star Game tomorrow night in Miami. They had the Futures game over the weekend. We've got the Home Run Derby coming up tonight. We've got NASCAR news. We've got college football news. We got college basketball news. We got the NFL news coming up. All that right here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 553, brought to you by the good folks from Grip Energy Drink. You can see right here on the screen. And, of course, we've got ourselves a Grip Energy Drink. And we got Daniel Monjay. And there is the Grip Energy Drink. That would be the white grape. And we've also got the Grip Energy Drink today, the lemon lime. I know the camera's a little slow, or slower than normal for whatever reason. And so got the lemon lime right there. I don't have a turn right. There we go. I got my finger in the way. There you go, the Grip Energy Drink, lemon lime. So all that going on again right here at Milligan College in the middle of the Coach Bill Robinson basketball camp. 150 campers, and they're in here having a big time. And day one of a 5-day camp. Tomorrow we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday we'll wrap up the week on a Food City Friday. We will be on the road. Food City Friday will be live at Food City and Euclid Avenue in Bristol. We'll take our first break. We'll come right back, and we'll check in with Sports Information Director Daniel Monjay. He joins us next live at Milligan College, show number 553 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short-track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra-depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live again at Milligan College, middle of the basketball camp. And again, thanks for being with us on this Monday, July the 10th. And there he is. There's our buddy. It's swinging him around. Daniel Monjay, the sports information director at Milligan College. And there he is. There's his name up on the screen. Morning, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. You have in your hand, or did have in your hand, let's go. Let's hit that one right. There you go. You have in your hand, or you did, the Grip Energy Drink Sugar-Free Orange. Have you taken a swig yet?
I haven't. I just opened it.
Here you go.
I'm excited.
Here's the
first
maiden
one.
voyage. Give it a swig, my friend. Of course, he picked orange. That would only be standard
Of course.
reason, the orange and black. So, excuse me.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. Now, obviously, it is room temperature. It needs to be iced down, but we brought him in here to pass them out. And so I've been working on the pineapple right here. Love the pineapple. He's got himself the
Ultra orange.
Sugar-free orange. The ultra orange.
Ultra
So,
orange.
there you go. Only 5 calories per bottle and only 2 carbs per bottle in the sugar-free. So there you go. And they're available at Food City, and we appreciate these folks very much. We've got baseball coming up. The Futures game was yesterday. Did you watch the Futures game at all?
I missed it.
There is the problem, and I think a lot of people missed it. So you've got the Futures game. By the way, hello to Jason Hash watching and listening down in Chattanooga. Hello, Jason. How you doing, my friend? Appreciate you being with us very much. So the Futures game. If you're showcasing the future stars of the sport, yesterday when they played the game in Miami, it's up against the last game of the first half of the regular season for the big teams,
Right.
for the big clubs. Why would you not set it apart and have it a standalone game like the Home Run Derby is going to be tonight, and the All-Star game obviously is going to be tomorrow night? If you're trying to showcase the future talent from a marketing standpoint, and you do marketing for the school here, would you not make it a little bit more, as I said, standalone, more marquee, big deal kind of thing than just kind of go, oh, here's the Futures game?
Yeah, or almost have it on the same day as a home run derby or all-star game. Then you can tie them together a little bit better maybe. Or even just from the standpoint of if you've got it on the day of the all-star game, just have it that afternoon, and then your announcers and commentators during the all-star game that night can be talking about it a little more.
And you got it. In behind us, they're having competition. Each kid gets 45 seconds to make all the shots they can make, and they keep the points. They do it every day to see if you improve from day 1 to day 5. So you're hearing the buzzer every 45 seconds, and we're hearing it seems like more than every 45 seconds, but that's okay because these kids are having fun, and that's the bottom line. We're here live at Milligan College. the basketball camp. They have one more camp coming up later on in the month. We'll let Coach Robinson talk about that at Colonial Heights Christian Church, where it's going to be. They've already got over 80 campers signed up for it, so it's going to be a great camp. And they've had great camps all season long here at Milligan. And this, by far, is the biggest camp they've had all year. They got 150 kids in here from, I think, from first and second grade all the way up to, what's some of these guys? Middle school, probably. Are these high school kids too?
I think it's definitely through middle school. Maybe a high schooler here or there too.
Yeah, maybe through 8th or 9th grade. They don't look like they're high school kids, but they're big uns, and they've got them based on age, of course. So that's what you're hearing in the background is the competition. What's it called? Is it called Shootout? I think it's called Shootout, the little one told me. So anyway, we're here at Milligan College today. Tomorrow we'll be at Phil's Green Pit. So we look at Major League Baseball. What's your take so far in the first half of the season?
Well, I haven't paid a whole lot of attention. I do know that the Braves are only a half game back of the World Series champion from last year, and we're also second place in the division. But yeah, the Braves are pretty far out of it at this point. Not doing too well. Outside of that, I don't really know a whole lot. Haven't been paying a whole lot of attention. Missed kind of the last week being out of the office on vacation.
You got a vacation?
I did. It was nice.
How does that work? How do you get a vacation?
You have to know the right people, I guess.
I don't apparently know the right people because I haven't had one for a while, but we're going to work on getting one. But I'm glad you got out of town. You go back home and see your folks?
Yeah, went home, Birmingham, Alabama, saw my parents, saw my sister. It was good.
Yeah,
was able to spend 4th of July down there.
Yep, good stuff. And so baseball, if you're a Cubs fan, you got to be sweating bullets because here we are at the halfway point, and I don't think you've hit the panic button, but they're way underperforming coming off the World Series.
Right. It is a long season, though. Obviously, there's a lot more games to make up. A lot more opportunity, I guess, for improvement.
So, in fact, let's look at the standings.
I think they were 2 games below 500 the last I saw.
Yeah, they are. So they stopped the break. And do you go out and do some wholesale changes during the break, or just let it status quo?
I don't know. When's the trade deadline? August 1st? Mm-hmm. Maybe give it another couple weeks and see if they can turn it around after the All-Star break, having that nice little rest.
Cubs are 43 and 45. They're 5.5 out. I'm not a Cubs fan per se, but coming off the World Series and struggling like you are, Milwaukee leads the division. In fact, at the break, Washington leads the Braves by 9.5 in the East. In the Central Division, Milwaukee with a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs. Cardinals are struggling. They're 2 under 500. They're tied, 5.5 back as well. Pittsburgh is 7 back, and the Reds, forget them. The Dodgers on the other side of the coin, probably the best team in the National League. Dodgers with a 7.5 game lead over Arizona right now. In the American League, Boston, 3.5 game lead over the New York Yankees and Tampa Bay. Baltimore is really taking a nosedive over the last couple of weeks. In the Central, Cleveland with a 3-game lead over Minnesota. Kansas City playing some excellent baseball. They're just 3.5 back now. In fact, the 2 hottest teams going into the break are the Dodgers and the Kansas City Royals. And then Houston, the best team in baseball, with a 16.5 game lead over the Los Angeles Angels at the breaks. They, for all intents and purposes, Daniel Monjay, have sewn up the division already. Houston's just playing out the string unless they have a total collapse, which I don't see them doing. But that's what's looking at baseball. So then what's going on right now at Milligan College is kind of the quiet before the storm. What's going on? Yeah,
it's kind of that transition period for me and for a lot of us down here in the athletic department. I spent the last couple of weeks before that vacation just kind of updating everything and getting everything finished out for the 16-17 season as far as archives, updating everything that needs to be updated, kind of finishing out, just cleaning up the website and everything related to that. And now coming in here 1st of July, kind of starting this next month, is just going to be that final push, or that starting push for this 2017-2018 season. So just as far as schedule posting, roster posting, just getting everything updated for the next year, and just getting it ready, because it's crazy to think our first home event, or our first event of the fall season, is only 6 weeks from Saturday. It's August 19th. So it's going to be here before you know it. So just kind of trying to get prepared for all that.
It is going to be here before you know it. Of course, we got high school football. The dead period's over. They start back today, and I think some of the teams be in helmets and T-shirts and 7-on-7 leagues. So, yep, it's the calm before the storm. Got the SEC Media Day starting today down in Hoover, Alabama. Got 3 coaches up on the podium today. You've got the coach in the Arkansas Razorbacks, Brett Belima. Also, you got Ed Orgeron from the LSU Bayou Bengals, and, of course, Butch Jones also there today. We'll hope to capture some audio from that coming up. Have that for you tomorrow. We're going to be live at Phil's Dream Pit. So everything getting ready to gear up. Any athletes on campus right now in Milligan?
Yeah, we've got a few. Some of them stayed to work over the summer. We've obviously got some basketball players on the men's and women's teams that are here helping with the camp. But then we've got different athletes in different departments, some helping out over the bookstore, some helping out at the physical plant. There's different things, different jobs over the summer that they can get.
So you're updating records right now, right?
Well, I've pretty much finished. It's kind of an ongoing project that never ends. But as far as last year, I think I've got kind of the books closed on that. And now this next month is just going to be trying to focus on next year and get everything ready for next year.
We had her on. We were back here in June. We had her. In fact, we happened to catch her here in town. She was heading off to Germany and into England, Hannah Seagraves. And so you've updated her particular records and what she did for Milligan College, both here on Milligan. Of course, she set national and NAIA, and this lady's been a phenomenal marketing tool for Milligan sports and Milligan cross country, Milligan track. So give me some numbers of Hannah Seagrave.
Well, she won 4 national titles while she was here.
Incredible.
It's crazy. Two her senior year, 2 her junior year. All of them were in the 800 meters. She also had a few national runner-ups. I know last cross-country season she was the national runner-up. Before she won her national titles in the 800, she was a national runner-up, I think, a couple of times in the 800 meters. So a lot of different things like that. Set numerous school records, some AAC records. And actually last week, she was at the the British Trials, which is or the British Championships, which is in preparation for the World Championships, which is a huge running event, obviously worldwide. The last I'd heard was that it was at the British Championships and that she was preparing for the World Championships. So still more cool stuff for her, and obviously still getting out there and getting after it.
Daniel Monjay with us. You see on the screen the Milligan Sports Information Director. So from a marketing standpoint, you would think Chris Lane can go out here. We can use her as a marketing chip to say, hey, you need to come to Milligan College. We brought Hannah Seagraves in here. And look what she did in 4 years, 4 national championships.
Yeah, and she's now a professional runner.
She's a pro runner, so I would think that Coach Lane will use that as a recruiting
I
tool.
think absolutely he will.
Why would he not? I mean, he'd be crazy not to, and I'm sure he already is. So, and then you look over on the basketball team, and young ladies out here on the floor. Sarah Robinson, of course, coach's daughter, but she unprecedented had, which I've never ever heard anybody doing this. She won the Appalachian Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year and the Player of the Year in the same year.
Sophomore season, too.
In the sophomore year. She's only a sophomore from Elizabethton. I've never heard of anybody on any level winning the defensive and the Player of the Year in the same year from the same conference.
Yep, and she was an NAI All-American also this year, and last year she was the AAC Freshman of the Year. So a lot of good stuff from her so far, and hopefully a lot more good stuff to come.
The most unassuming lady to ever want to meet. In fact, most unassuming lady.
Oh, absolutely.
In fact, she didn't even know she'd set a couple of records to her brother. Told her one day over the dinner table, said, "Hey, by the way, did you know you won this?" She goes, "I did." So that's just the way she is. She's out there right now with the campers, so it's good stuff. So again, coming up next for Milligan College, who comes in first as far as on campus?
Well, it'll be all the fall sports kind of at the same wave. Men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball. I know will be coming in last week of July, maybe first week of August to start their preseason training. They'll have 2 or 3 weeks before the season starts to come in here and get fit, start practicing, get everything kind of worked out, and kind of start to gel a little bit. And then, like I said, August 19th is our first game. It's a men's soccer home match, Saturday, August 19th, and then gets crazy from there. We'll have men's soccer season starting, women's soccer season starting, volleyball starting, and then shortly after that we'll have all the other fall sports. So we'll have cycling starting up, tennis, golf, swimming. Soon after that, basketball season will be going.
Yeah. So this truly is for you the calm before the storm, right?
Yes.
Kind of a kickback
Yes.
time, although it's really not kickback. You're pretty busy, so.
It stays busy. It'll get busier during the fall season, and you know, as nice as it is now, and how much you kind of dread in some ways, looking forward to August. It's good too. You know, I'd almost rather be busy than bored. And once the fall season starts up, it's, you know, you get busy and you kind of get into your element at that point. And it can be, and it is absolutely. There's a lot of fun to it as well.
Any changes in the Appalachian Athletic Conference? I know sometimes teams come, teams go. Is it pretty much intact for this year from last year?
As far as I know, yes. We added a new member last year, Alan. I think next year is the first year for Brevard coming in. So a little bit of changes, but for the most part, it's the same.
Status quo. Daniel Monge from Milligan College, where we are broadcasting live, the sports information director. Again, coming up, we're going to hear from Mike Hedrick again, the NASCAR fan reporter. There's lots going on in NASCAR, a lot of happening in NASCAR. He's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. Also, we got stories about Major League Baseball. We got what to expect from media days in the Southeastern Conference. How would you feel if you were Kevin Sumlin, the head football coach at Texas A&M, and your athletic director in May comes out and says he's got to win more? I mean, you're talking about putting the mojo on you. And this guy's at an event. I don't know where he was at. It didn't really matter. But the athletic director said, his last name was Woodward, says Kevin's got to win more. We've got to finish stronger every year. And I'm thinking, he kind of threw it down the gauntlet, didn't he? So I would think someone was very much on the hot seat right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a totally different world at that level, with the amount of emphasis that's put on winning. It's crazy.
I have in my hand my formerly nicotine-stained fingers, as Rush Limbaugh would say. The coaches, the 5 coaches that are on the hot seat, according to some prognosticators and pundits on the national scope. Brian Kelly, Notre Dame. Went 4-8 last year. I didn't realize they were that bad. 6-6, does that save him if he goes 6-6? Can he go 5-0?
Maybe.
Save his bacon?
Maybe.
Kevin Sumlin, Texas A&M. The Aggies are a combined 16-0 start since 2014, but 8-15 the rest of the way. In trouble?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
That's not a good record over the last few years.
A couple of other coaches, Todd Graham of Arizona State, Rich Rodriguez of Arizona, also feeling some heat. Cliff Kingsbury of Texas Tech. He's 24-26 overall. Has not lived up to the hype that followed him from Texas A&M and from Houston. So those guys, according to this particular sports writer, are in trouble. Butch Jones of Tennessee. Some say yes, some say no. What do you? And I really don't get off on predicting who's going to get fired. I don't want anybody to lose their jobs, but it's high pressure. They get paid big bucks. They're expected to produce, and some of these coaches obviously aren't, based on what they're being paid and the fan base and the boosters. So having said all of that, you feel like Butch Jones is in trouble?
I think probably so, and it's sad to think. I mean, I think you make a good point about, you know, these guys are making a lot of money. They need to win games if they're making that much money. But I always go back and think of the Mike Krzyzewski case, because I remember learning that. I think it was when I was in college. That was an example of, you know, he took over at Duke in 1979, 80, somewhere in there. And his first 3 seasons, I don't think he was above 500. And to think, if that were today, he'd probably be fired.
Be gone. Yeah.
And it's a good thing Duke didn't fire him, you know. So it's to think about that as an example is just, I don't know. Is it we need to be more patient, or I don't know. It's
Quick
just interesting to think about, though.
It's what he did for me yesterday. We want instant gratification
Right.
as a society.
Right.
And, you know, it's trickled down to the sports, too. I mean, these guys, if they have an off year, you know, they're clamoring for their firing right out of the chute. So,
Right.
Anyway, we'll see. Butch Jones, and I've talked to guys up and down the line over the last couple of weeks here on the show. Some say, some say 7-5, some say 9-3, some say 10-2. So pretty much a foregone conclusion from everybody they're going to get beat by Alabama. But after that, I think the games are always hanging in the balance of the LSU game in Knoxville, the Georgia game. Those are the ones, and even Kentucky up there could be interesting. So
right.
We'll see. You want to talk about your Falcons before we go to the break or not? Because I'll talk about my Raiders.
Well, I hope to see them back in the Super Bowl. Hopefully we don't have a same performance as we did last year. At least not fourth quarter performance. But yeah, I think their chances of being in the Super Bowl are good. Again, as far as I know.
Let's do a lunch bet right now. July the 10th, 2017.
Well, now see, I think last year at this time, neither of us would have been saying the Falcons would have been in the Super Bowl.
That's true.
And they were. So I think there's a lot to tell from the first 5-6 weeks of the season.
Well, let's do a lunch bet anyway. I'm going to go ahead on record and say, straight up lunch. We'll use Phil's Dream Pit as the place to go eat.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
All right.
You're going to say the Falcons should be back in the Super Bowl, which means you say they're.
I'll say they could be.
Okay. I'm going to say
I'll
they
give
won't
a
be.
vague and generic, easy to get out of answer.
I'm going to say they won't be.
All right.
So I'm going to bet you straight up right now that the Super Bowl, the NFC representative will not be the Atlanta Falcons. Take that bet?
Sure.
Okay.
If you'll take the bet that Oakland won't be.
No, I won't, because the Raiders are going to surprise some people. They get Khalil Mack signed, which is supposed to do this week, and look out, baby. I've been reading up and going to their website. They're going to be pretty strong. You know, they open up September the 10th in Nashville. They're going to put a butt whooping on the Titans to get it all started. Did they play your measly little birds this year, your little Falcons?
Probably not.
No.
Didn't, because we had the division matchup last year, right?
The Falcons are scared of them.
What happened last year?
You know, we got to take a break. I really appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah,
What
thanks
was
for
the
having
score,
me.
do you remember?
Was it 38-31? Was it even that close?
There we go. Okay, it was even that close. His point being, the Falcons went into Oakland and beat my Raiders. So
That was early on.
Yeah.
I think it was week 2 or week 3, I think.
So it won't happen this year. The Raiders. It's going to be good. We're going to take a break. By the way, we dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross unashamedly. You want to read the verse today? You want to read it?
Sure.
Okay. Out of the book of Psalms 46, verses 1, 2, and 3, it goes as follows. Here is our verse of the day for the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
I am your refuge and your strength. Even though the earth gives way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, do not fear. I am an ever-present help in trouble.
There you go. I am your refuge and your strength. Even though the earth gives way and the mountains fall into the sea,
into the heart of the sea,
do not fear. I love that. Don't fear. I am an ever-present help in trouble. How about that? That's financial trouble, marital trouble, relationship trouble, substance abuse trouble, any kind of trouble you may be in. Trouble is trouble. It says, I'm an ever-present help in trouble. Psalms 46, 1, 2, and 3. That is the verse of the day here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Good job. Give me some taters. How about, can you just say one time in your deepest, gravelly voice, the Raiders?
I don't have a deep, gravelly voice. I'll say the Raiders, though.
There you go. That's good. That'll work. That'll work. We'll take a quick break. We'll go to Northern Virginia and check in with Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter, coming up next year. We're live at Milligan College. Tomorrow we will be at Phil's Dream Pit. Woo! Can't wait. The quest for perfect barbecue. You've been out there, haven't you? You coming
That's
tomorrow?
great. I'll be out there tomorrow.
Coming back out tomorrow. He wants to come back and eat. And what'd you have last time you were there?
Pulled pork. It's phenomenal.
There you
It's
go.
Good barbecue.
I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. It's awesome. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. They won more awards than Carter's Got Liver Pills. And they win so many chili cook-offs and so many cook-offs, rib contests. They stopped doing it because they got a whole wall of plaques. And so we'll be there tomorrow. We'll be at Chick-fil-A on Wednesday, Champion Chevrolet on Thursday, and Friday at Food City Friday we'll be on the road at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Milligan College here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 553, brought to you by the great folks from Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back live again at Milligan College. Again, we are on the road again, obviously. Again, on this Monday. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to be on the road at Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. We're looking forward to being over there, of course. And right now, we go to the phone. You see on the screen our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fan reporter. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing great up here. It's a beautiful day here in Northern Virginia, and we had great racing all weekend long, so hey, I'm excited.
Absolutely. We had a triple header. Christopher Bell wins the truck race on Friday night. Kyle Busch wins the Xfinity race on Saturday afternoon as a result of a rain out on Friday night. And actually, the truck race was Thursday night. The Xfinity race would have been on Friday. They ran it on Saturday. Kyle Busch won it no matter where it was. He won it with authority. Then on Saturday evening, wow, beating and banging and rubbing and racing. And Martin Truex Jr. gets his 10th win. Kind of preview, or actually review, if you would, the big race this past weekend at Kentucky Speedway.
Hey, well, the big one right there, you know, it was a great race. It was a fast race. It was a great race with two very strong Toyotas. Combined, Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. led for 263 of the 274 laps. But Martin Truex led that most important one, which is the final one. and he gets the race win right there. So that's his third of the season, very first one at Kentucky, and the 10th of his career. Now, Kyle Larson, you got to give him an honorable mention because he finished second, but he started in the very back, and he actually had a speed and road penalty and had to go back to the back again. So coming up second was awesome. Like I said, the Toyotas were strong. Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones coming up 4th, 5th, and 6th. And for the only time in his career, Jimmy Johnson actually came out 40th, which the only time he's ever done that. He wrecked out earlier with a couple other big guys.
So you're Brian France. We've been down this road before, so Larson doesn't even get a chance to get out here to qualify at Kentucky Speedway. How do you fix that? Because, again, you got, like, coming up when we have a pole day coming up on Friday when they get in here for the racing action at Bristol Motor Speedway later on, and people show up to see their favorite driver go around the laps and go around the track to qualify, and they can't. People get frustrated and get mad. So how do you fix that? Because Larson doesn't get out there. This has happened numerous tracks this season. And again, Mr. Hedrick, you're now running NASCAR for this particular situation. How do you fix it?
Well, I like running NASCAR, and I'm glad I get this chance. I would do like my daddy did. You know what? I'm going to up the ante. If you do something wrong and I take away your fishing pole and that doesn't seem to bug you and you keep doing away, I'm going to take away your bike. I'm going to take away your bike, and if that doesn't bug you, I'm going to take you. You're going to come inside. You're going to be on restriction. And I think NASCAR is doing that same thing. They're getting ready to start taking away tires. They're making them sit on pit road for 30 minutes at a time. That's a lot of practice that they need, especially nowadays with the less track time that they got. So I think that you're going to see NASCAR doing exactly what I have them doing now that I'm running NASCAR, and we're going to go ahead and start upping the ante on some of these penalties.
The drivers blame NASCAR. NASCAR blames the drivers. I don't know who's at fault, but again, for the fans, and that's what you're there for, we got to fix it so the fans can show up on the days they qualify and see their favorite drivers. So the Kyle Larson fan base that showed up at Sparta, Kentucky over the weekend got robbed of a chance to see him get out there and qualify. Now, it's not the end of the world. If he was not in the race, that's a whole different animal. But they're there to see that, and they got to fix it. So hopefully they can do that. I'm sure they've talked more about taking a look at that at the end of the season for 2018. So we'll see how that goes. Top 10 from the race on Saturday night. Truex Jr. his 10th win. Ties him with Donnie Allison and Sterling Marlin on the all-time wins list. Then you have Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, the top 5. Then comes Eric Jones, Jamie McMurray, Joey Logano finished 8th, Kevin Harvick 9th, Ryan Blaney 10th. So you look at the youth movement, Mike Hedrick, again, our NASCAR fan reporter, and you look out of that top, we even throw in the top 12. Number 11 was Darrell Wallace. Bubba got 11th. Junior finished 12th, Dale Jr. So out of that top 12, the Young Bucks, Larson 2nd, Elliott 3rd, Eric Jones 6th, Ryan Blaney 10th, Darrell Wallace Jr. 11th. Translation, it looks like NASCAR is in pretty good shape with the youth movement right now. What do you think?
You know what, and I like it. Again, I think we talked about that, before, that this year here, anybody can win any race. And congratulations to Darrell Wallace Jr. on that 11th place finish. The king would be just happy with a top 15. You know what, and the young man is really showing, what he can do in a top-tier car. And I really hope that there's some sponsors watching him because I'd like to see him in the Cup Series next year full-time. I know those seats are kind of hard, and they're silly about who gets one. But what a great performance from him coming in the 11th.
Well, say hello to Jason Hash listening to us down in Chattanooga. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. We're live here again at Milligan College. We are talking to Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fan reporter, does a phenomenal job every week, and we're going to preview New Hampshire coming up here in just a second. Here are the points heading off to New Hampshire. Kyle Larson with a 1-point lead over Martin Truex Jr., who leads away. He and Jimmy Johnson both with 3 wins so far this season. Then comes Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, the top 5 in points. Then comes Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Jimmy Johnson, Clint Boyer, top 10 in points heading off to New Hampshire. Keselowski very frustrated with what happened, kind of called out the team, if you will, the way things ended for him. Very frustrated weekend for Brad Keselowski in Sparta, Kentucky. So question there is he's waiting for a contract extension from Penske. Does that help his cause or hurt his cause, but kind of calling out the team?
Well, you know what? I can see where he could be frustrated a little bit. I mean, Penske had just signed Joey Logano to a 7-year big extended contract or whatever, and we're still waiting to hear on Brad Kay, and you would have thought that would have been a done deal by now. So maybe there's a little tension in there. Hey, Brad Kay, maybe he's just taking the lessons from Kyle Busch and just throwing a temper tantrum. Hey, maybe it'll work for him. It hadn't really worked for Kyle that much. But, Brad could be a different beast. I think, frustration, when you get at that high of level of competitors, the frustration is going to be right along there when either you're not performing or the car or what you perceive as the team.
We're talking to Mike Hedrick. The Xfinity Series runs this week, as does the Cup drivers, of course, going to New Hampshire. Trucks are off until next week in Eldora. Tony Stewart's track. But again, heading into New Hampshire, it's preview it. Matt Kenseth making a lot of news in Kentucky over the weekend. He is the defending champ of the race. So before we get into the silly season, give me a preview of Loudon, New Hampshire. Who typically runs well there?
Well, you know what? It's a great track out there. It's actually a SMI track now. It used to be the New Hampshire International Speedway. Now it's the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It's a 1-mile super speedway with 12-degree banking and 2 degrees in the straights. Now, Matt Kenseth did win this race in July. Kevin Harvick won it in September, but he won it in a Chevy. Now, last year on the poles was sitting Jimmy Johnson in July and Carl Edwards in September. Now, the two big stats that are coming up is Chevy has the most wins there with 19, Ford with 13, and Toyota with just 7. But really, anybody can win there from any position. One of the facts I found today was just as many people have won the race from the 13th spot, 5, that have won from the pole, which is 5. So you can win from anywhere just around there. The current drivers right now that have the most top 10s in wins or top 5s is going to be your Jimmy Johnson and your Matt Kenseth. So he's really strong right there. But again, anybody can win this race, and especially in New Hampshire with everybody vying for these. It's audition time. I mean, it's audition time besides trying to make it into the playoffs. Anybody can win this, but you got to look for Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson to be strong there.
Talking to Mike Hedrick, see on the screen, our NASCAR fan reporter does a fantastic job every week checking in with us. Kyle Busch's crew got more troubles. Again, they have found yet another unsecured lug nut in the post-race check at Kentucky. So he led 112 laps, finished 5th. Saturday's event was the first race back atop the pit box for Adam Stevens, who joined 2 crew members in serving a 4-race suspension for a tire coming off of Busch's car at Dover last month. Under the guidelines, a $10,000 fine would be the suggested penalty for Saturday night's single lug nut infraction. Stevens was put on suspension. Then they had Brian Bashur, and so he got put on suspension. Then the third guy, and I can't remember his name, Dave, his last name escapes me, but he was the crew chief. So now you bring the original guy back, Adam Stevens, and lo and behold, first race back, another unsecured lug nut. So it looks like another fine coming and another possible suspension for Stevens. So how in the world do you fix that? And it's got to be a cause for embarrassment for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Well, when you said last week or so ago that you thought that Mike Hedrick would be the crew chief for the 18 car, I said it was crazy, but we're getting closer and closer, lug nut by lug nut. There's a shot for me up there after all there, Tom.
There you go. Let's talk about Joe Gibbs Racing. Again, you have Matt Kenseth Friday saying, hey, I don't think I have a ride next year. Here's what his teammate said, Kyle Busch. He says, quote, here's who's going to run the number 20 in 2018. Quote, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, I would believe they're going to announce him going into that car. I can't say that's a fact, but I certainly wish that we didn't have the cap of 4 full-time cars per team now, that we could grow and be a bigger company. But again, Kyle Busch says, I see Eric Jones, the former Kyle Busch Motorsports driver, being in the number 20 next year. Then they come back and ask Dale Jr. in Kentucky this past weekend, what about Matt Kenseth being unemployed going into 2018? He says, quote, Matt's going to have a job. I don't think he's going to have to worry about that. So now the buzz is he may jump over for a year or two and drive Earnhardt Jr.'s 88 to get some of the young guys ready to go. Eric Jones moving into the 20 car, and the silly season's begun. But, Kyle Busch comes out, and this is a quote. Eric Jones, I would believe they're going to announce him going into that car, but there's been nothing from Joe Gibbs or anybody in the top brass from Joe Gibbs Racing. So what do you make of all this, Mike Hedrick?
Well, the first thing is that when Matt Kenseth said that at his press conference, the other day, it sounded like he was a little surprised. He wasn't really sure. But, Tom, if he'd been watching your show for the last 2 or 3 months, we've been talking about it for the last couple of months on here, that we saw it kind of coming down, that Matt Kenseth was probably going to be out of the 20. Eric Jones was probably going to be into it. Now, I had often thought that Matt Kenseth was going to go ahead and jump into that number 77 furniture row seat over there, but we're hearing a quote just yesterday from Barney Visser. Now, he's the owner of the 77 and the 78 furniture row cars, and he said, and I'm going to quote him right now, we have nothing concrete pulled together right now for 2018. So that may not be an option, but like you said, Dale Jr. said that he's going to be in a competitive car. You got to figure Dale knows a little bit more than we do. And you know what? A couple of years of Matt in that 88. If you were Matt and they offered you the 77 or the 88, you jump in the 88 with Rick Hendricks there for a couple of years, and that may be just what they need, a big name to hold over that car and the sponsors until they can get William Byron enough experience to really come up and be good in that seat.
Odd man out, it's Alex Bowman. We talked about this. Nationwide's got a $20 million sponsorship tag on this car. They don't, and this is no knock on Alex Bowman, but that's not a marquee name. They want a marquee name. We talked about Carl Edwards. I don't see that happening, but I do see Matt Kenseth going over there for a couple of years and letting either William Byron or some of these other guys, although he's the guy that's really starting to strut his stuff. He did very well in the Truck Series, has won a couple of Xfinity Series races this year, so I see him being the car driver of the future for the 88, and I do see a Matt Kenseth stepping into that ride. And of course, you still hear about Danica. There's some rumblings about her leaving, and then of course Barney Visser says nothing firmed up there. And then, as you said earlier, Brad Keselowski still is unsigned with Penske, although I think they'll get to that, but I'm surprised they haven't nailed that down going forward. Chip Ganassi came out a couple of weeks ago and said our team is set for next year. Kyle Larson and Jamie McMurray are set for 2018 for Chip Ganassi Racing. They've kind of pulled their names off the table. So interesting going forward how things are going to kind of shake out for the 2018 season. Mike Hendrick, what's this do for morale? If you're in the Matt Kenseth camp and you hear your guy says, I may not be around next year, and we may have another guy driving the car, and 88's out there with an empty spot, what's that do to the pit crew? What's that do? I know they're paid, but, they're only human. What's it do for morale when you have some uncertainty on your driver and the guy you're working for?
Well, if I was on Matt Kenseth's pit crew right now, this would be motivation for me. I would be fired up. I'd be fired up knowing that I've got a championship driver in that car, and we haven't got him a win. I would be either spinning them tires faster or pumping that jack faster. I would be doing everything I could as his teammate, just like I'm sure he's going to try to do, is to get a win in this car. I'm so competitive, I would use it as self-motivation, and I would go after it. Like I said, this race coming up in New Hampshire, this might be his vindication, and just kind of stamp it and go, you know what, I am a contender.
We're talking to Mike Hendrick. Before I let you go, you got an interesting feature. The richest drivers in NASCAR. These guys and lady, Miss Danica, makes a lot of money. So run down what kind of money these guys and ladies are making in NASCAR.
We'll do this real quick or whatever. We're going to start off at number 20 with Brad Keselowski. He's number 20 on the list, and maybe that's the reason why he's trying to get that contract. He's worth an estimated $18 million. Joey Logano in 19, he's worth $20 million. He gets $1.4 million a month salary. Joey Logano gets $1.4 million a month salary. Denny Hamlin with $30 million. Jeff Burton, the former driver, $45 million. At $50 million, we have Casey Kane, Cale Yarborough, Greg Biffle in 14th with $50 million. Maybe that's why we haven't heard from him. He's got money. Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards are all at $50 million. Now in number 11, Danica Patrick, $55 million for the young lady right there. She could step away from the car and be no problem. The top 10, we've got the king. Richard Petty is worth an estimated $60 million, along with Matt Kenseth. Number 8 is Mark Martin at $70 million, tied with Dale Sr., Smoke, and Harvick, all at $70 million. The surprise for me is number 4 is Ken Schrader at $75 million. That shows you that a longevity in a career, will get you a long way. Number 3, richest NASCAR driver, Jimmy Johnson, with a jump up to $120 million. Number 2 is Jeff Gordon with $150 million. And number one, we could probably all guess it, Dale Jr. with an estimated worth of $300 million.
Wow, $300 million. So how does a guy like Jeff Burton or some of these other guys, I mean, they still making money, they're still getting paid. Burton making $45 million. Is that still current money? And I see Logano getting paid $1.4 million a month, but a guy like Jeff Burton, is he still getting paid? He's still on somebody's payroll?
Well, the thing is he's had a long career, so he made a lot of money while he was in the career, and he's currently a NBC analyst when he's on the doing the sports show. So he's probably making, still making millions a year doing broadcasting right now.
Neat stuff, our buddy Mike Hedrick. And so we want to use, before we get out of here, you want to do a little personal thing. You've been fitted, and tell us about that. This is pretty cool. One of our great sponsors, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, but Mike Hedrick up in Virginia, tell us the very latest on you on a personal note.
Well, yay for the Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, because those people right there, I mean, they literally are the boots on the ground for somebody, an amputee like myself, and being able to get up and walk. And, yeah, I just had a leg finished up from Infinite Technologies, or infinitetech.org, and it's a great leg. I've been working on it for about 4 months, and they're just, when you're working on something like that, it's an extension of your body, and as great as they can make them, I just want to tell everybody, the leg that the good Lord made for you can never really be replaced. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of technology, and when it's companies like Bristol or Infinite Technology, when people care, that can make all the difference in the world. So right now I'm still in the break me in period. The leg's not going to change. Just got to kind of break me into it, and I'm hobbling along a little bit, but and I'm still kicking.
There you go, still kicking, and in 37 days away we'll be able to see each other, because that's when they're coming to town, the UNOH 200 and the Bush's Beans 150 on that Wednesday. We're 40 days away from America's Night Race. You see on the hat here, the Bass Pro Shop NRA Night Race. Mike will be in town for all the racing festivities, the world's fastest half mile. So, hey, great report. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy your week, and stay cool up here in Northern Virginia. Thank you. You do a phenomenal job.
Thank you very much, and hey, God bless everybody real good out there.
You got it. Mike Hedrick with us again. Appreciate him doing a superb job as always. Thank you, Mike. And we appreciate him being spot on with what's going on in NASCAR. Again, they will race Xfinity Series and Cup will be at Loudon, New Hampshire this week. The winner from a year ago in the race was Matt Kenseth. Of course, Harvick won in the fall the second time through, but the spring race or summer race a year ago in Loudon, New Hampshire was one the checkers brought home by the 20 of Matt Kenseth. So we'll see if we can duplicate that coming up again this year at Loudon, New Hampshire, coming up this week. Quick break. We'll be right back. We go from NASCAR, talk a little college football. The Gator Man's in the house. Got the Home Run Derby tonight, again down in Miami. Tomorrow night, the All-Star Game. We got some replacements on, particularly in the American League. We've got some roster replacements due to injuries and what have you. We'll tell you all about that. But we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We are live at Milligan College with the basketball camp coming up tomorrow. We're going to be on the road to Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday will be at Chick-fil-A, Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday will be at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol with a full slate of guests. And so, again, as we said, can't thank you listening and watching enough. For up to 3,200 views on Friday's show. I think that's the high water mark. I'd have to double check that with Jeremiah, but if it's not, it's real close. And we had over 2,000 views on 2,000. Got tangled up my cords here. I'm sorry. 2,000 views on Thursday's show. So thank you so very much. Show continues to grow. We're taking the show on the road. We're going to be going to West Virginia, a broadcast there later on in the month. Can't wait. Taking it on the road again. Got some inquiries to take it down into down around Dandridge and Morristown as well. So we're on the road. If you want us to come to your place and broadcast, we can certainly consider doing that. So we're going to take it on the road, and that's very exciting. And we got Freddy's coming up later in the month. First stop at Freddy's, the hamburger joint in Johnson City, going to be there. One of our brand new sponsors. So it continues to grow, and we appreciate that very, very much. Quick break. We'll be right back. The Gator Man's with us from Cherokee Barbershop. He is styling and profiling him. He's got the trivia. He thinks he's going to owe for me. It's not a chance. I'm going to go 5 for 5. He said, you won't get any of them right. I said, oh, yeah. I'm going to rock this puppy. We're going to do the quiz show coming up next and talk to the Gator Man right after this. We're live at Milligan College. Again, we're here on show number 553, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
This is the place. The place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year. The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, 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 and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Milligan College. He is with us, and in the house, the Gator Man. No, I'm not Gator, but we're fixing to show you Gator. And there he is, the Gator Man from Cherokee Barbershop. Afternoon, sir. How you doing? You can't see it. I'll show you a little bit later on, but I went over there last week and got my beard trimmed. The guy does a phenomenal job. You trim a lot of beards? I do. I have quite a few, actually. Yeah, Cherokee Barbershop, again, trimming the beard. So I want to segue into, because when I get this haircut for Pantene Beautiful Links, and I'm going to donate it, so they're going to have a real hair wig, part of a real hair wig, for ladies going through cancer or chemotherapy. I'm going to let this man cut my hair. In the barber chair, when you trim my beard, you measured it, and how close am I?
It's about a ½ inch too short, unless you want a buzz cut.
No, I don't want a buzz cut. So is yours a buzz cut? Yours flat top. So what's yours from the flat top and the buzz cut?
It's not flat on top.
Okay. It'd be just like an egghead, like horse. Yeah, horse is old. He's falling apart. Horse is old and bald, so, and I'll hear about that. But so when we do get it, again, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. We're growing our hair to donate. Lost a mama and my mother, and then my father remarried and lost her. to cancer, so it's my way of giving back. And so PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, Pantene, the hair product company, of course, PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. And if you'd like to grow your hair and do it for a great cause, I think it'd be a cool thing for you to do, because we like doing it. And once we get to that length, we'll cut it off, let you cut it off. I'm going to start over and do it again because I think it's a great cause. And, yeah. Is that how you're going to do it? I was hoping scissors. You're talking with a hatchet? Oh, what was that about? What did you just do that for? Oh, I got you. I don't know what that means. I'm nervous. But anyway, we're here again at Milligan College talking to my man Gator. And so let's talk about you love them, your Florida Gators. Since 2010, they've had a pretty good run. Tell me about it. So you won a national championship what this year in baseball? There you go. So, and of course he asked me, he said, what other SEC school has done that? I said, I don't know. I don't know if anybody, that's pretty phenomenal. Obviously Alabama's had a pretty good run in football, but across the board, every year the Florida Gators have a solid representation. This year, what'd you say again? Baseball, men's track. So outdoor track, 3 national championships. We're live here again at Milligan College. It's the Calm here. Well, actually, it's not the Calm because they've got so many campers this week. They've got to break up lunch, so half of them are up on the hill eating, the other half getting ready to go. So they'll be back in there in a little while. We're going to be with you at 1 o'clock. Yeah, these kids are having a big time. A record number of campers, over 150 campers here. There is a camp next week. We're going to let Coach Robinson talk about that. He'll be our guest coming up next. They've got a camp coming up at Colonial Heights Christian Church, a satellite camp. I think they've already got 80, 85 campers lined up there. So this guy does a phenomenal job. He's a Christian. He unashamedly tells you about the Lord, and of course his devotions are top shelf, and we're going to try and capture some of his devotion today. Tomorrow we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and then Friday we'll be at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. We're talking to the Gator Man from Cherokee Barbershop, one of our great sponsors. Let's talk dead period's over. He is a TSSAA football official. Dead period is over, and so now we start 7-on-7s. Can they actually be out in practice with helmets and shirts now? Yeah, so what can they do now as far as? Okay.
So the days like when I was playing back with the leather helmets and no face masks, they're no longer, which is good for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they are. They're athletes. It's amazing how strong and fast these guys are at an early age.
7-on-7 league, of course, is quarterbacks, wide receivers, some linemen up front, but they're all in helmets. Yeah. Helmets and T-shirts, and so it's, and they don't get into a lot of contact, but it's primarily to help the quarterbacks and the wide receivers kind of sharpen their skills and get their timing down and everything. So some of the schools do it, some of them don't. And then, of course, regular practice starts very soon because you're, 38 days till kickoff? Wow, that's unbelievable. 38 days till kickoff of high school football, and, of course, it's going to be a great season. We've got a brand-new show we're going to tell you about Wednesday. We're going to unveil the show. We're going to tell you all about it. It's going to be all about football, high school, and college football show, and it'll be starting in August, and we're very excited about that. Got a co-host and got some stringer reporters, and it's going to be really cool. And so we'll tell you all about that coming up on Wednesday when the co-host of the show will be with me, and we'll make that official announcement on Wednesday. We got the Gator Man here with us, so oh yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be the most thorough preview show of high school and college anywhere, I think. So we've got some great folks lined up. involving the Hokies and the Bucks and the Vols and high school, and got some national folks going to call in on the show. So we're going to have a big time with it, and can't wait. We'll tell you all about it coming up on Wednesday. We're talking to the Gator Man. So let's see, high school football. You need officials. I think that's safe to say. Some of the older folks are just that. They're kind of winding things down. And so we need some new officials. And so if you're interested in being a football official, basketball official, an umpire, what is the process? What must one do? Let's say I want to become a basketball official or football official. Step me through the process. What do I do?
Well, first thing I would suggest is one go to TSSAA.org on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I would talk to somebody that you know is an official, talk to them, and then they can explain it. If you want to do football, we have a new website now on Region 1 footballofficials.weebly.com. If they go to that, I'll let you have that promoted for us. That is a great website. It tells you how to join. It tells you our meetings. There's training videos. Mike Johnson, our president for Region 1, he has done wonderful getting that thing set up. It's I've been looking at it probably 4 or 5 days now, and I still haven't been able to see everything.
Region 1 football officials.weebly. That's Weebly. So I can't hardly read you right. Is that Weebly? Weebly. Okay. Let's get that right so I can promote that. So Weebly.com. So again, the first meeting is coming up on July 13th. The state meeting is July 25th. So I have no experience. I want to be a football official. Is there training? You got to go through classes? If somebody out there wants to become football, any kind of an official, umpire, and have no experience, not even biddy league or anything, just I want to grab a whistle and start, what do we do?
The thing to do is show up.
Okay.
We will train you. You will learn. You're never put in a position you're not ready for. That's one thing that I will say. We've got great officials that have done this for years. They'll bring you on football. I can't speak for other sports, but it's almost the same guys. In football, they have a young officials class. It's mandatory on one Saturday. I can't remember the date, but it's usually like the second or third week of the season, and it's mandatory for new officials. Every so often they'll have a meeting before our regular meeting for new officials, where they go over and they do a hands-on. You'll do middle school games. You'll do the kids on Saturday. That's where you get a lot of the experience before they put you in a situation.
Coming up, we'll take a look at Major League Baseball. Also, as we said, we got some college football news, some NFL news. If you're a Steelers fan, you want to be listening because Le'Veon Bell is maybe yes, maybe no as a Steeler. We'll tell you all about that coming up. Also, we got some Major League Baseball rundown, the Home Run Derby tonight. Also, we are 37 days away from the doubleheader at Bristol Motor Speedway, the UNOH 200 and the Bush's Beans 150. The countdown is on. We're down to 39 days to the Food City 300. And then America's Night Race, as Charlie Daniels says in our commercials here on the show, we are 40 and even 40 days away from America's Night Race, the Bass Pro Shop NRA Night Race. We had Landon Owen on the show Friday, the director of ticket sales of Bristol. I'm just telling you, this is not hype. I'm not paid to, yes, I work for the track, but I'm not paid to sit here and tell you that ticket sales are going up through the roof. But I'm telling you, the ticket sales are going through the roof because Dale Jr. has announced he'll run both Friday night for the Food City 300 and, of course, the Bass Pro Shop NRA Night Race. It's his final trips to Bristol as a driver for this year, particularly in the Cup Series. So here's the way you can get your tickets locally, 423 Bristol. On the computer, BristolTix.com. Or if you're out of the area and listening, and you are, like Jason in Chattanooga and some of the folks up in West Virginia, and we've got the Dollywood contest folks. We've got 5 states represented now. So if you're out of the area, it's 1-866-415-4158. 1-866-415-4158. And again, I'm not hyping it. I'm just telling you, Junior's making his last trips around Bristol. It's his favorite track. In fact, he coined this right here. Let's see if I can do this. I'm terrible at this thing, but it's my Bristol, baby. Well, Dale Jr. came up with it after he won the last time he won here at Bristol. He jumped out of the car and said, it's Bristol, baby. And so we've taken it and it's my Bristol, baby. Ownership of the track here with the local folks. But I'm telling you, you need to get your tickets. And we're 40 days away. And from everything I can tell, we're going to have a big house at Bristol coming up all 3 nights at Bristol Motor Speedway for the fall race. So get your tickets and be ready to roll. There you see on the hat, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. So, again, 38 days to football. So if you want to be a basketball official, too early for that. Right now you're focusing on football.
We're focusing on football, but it's never too early.
Mm-hmm.
You can always study. We have referee.com has a thing you get books to study from. For all sports.
So Region 1, you type in 1, the number 1. Region 1 footballofficials.weebly, WEEBLY.com. So check it out. First meeting, if you're interested in being an official, July 13th. By the way, you don't get rich doing it, but you do get paid to do it. I want to say that it's not a volunteer job. If you're a TSSAA official, any sport, you are compensated. Will you be able to retire on what you make? Probably not. But you get a chance to help these student athletes and get good exercise, and it's a lot of fun. No, not about the money. Yep. Yeah, this is our future right here. And, hey, one of these kids, a lot of these kids, you'll see them maybe on TV sometime down the road, college basketball, because this is where it gets started right here down the grassroots of, I think he's got them in here from first grade all the way up to middle school. So, anyway, they're back in here, obviously. The quiet is gone, and the little ones are here, and they're rowdy, having a big time. That's what it's all about. Hey, they're kids, and they should be making noise. It's what? Oh, yeah, a little boy over there, he's shinning up the bleachers, having a big time. So kids will be kids. And so, anyway, we're glad to be here. Tomorrow we'll be at Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday, Chick-fil-A. Thursday, Champion Chevrolet. Friday we'll be at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. We're talking to the Gator Man. So, college football, let's talk about it. SEC East, you've got your Florida Gators, the Georgia Bulldogs, the Tennessee Vols, the Kentucky Wildcats, the South Carolina Gamecocks, the Missouri Tigers, and the Vanderbilt Commodores. What do you think going into the preseason? Is it Florida's division to win? Georgia, Tennessee, who do you think?
Everybody's picking Georgia. I still think it's up for grabs. I'm not convinced on Georgia. They do have talent, but they're young. They've got a good defense coming back. Florida, I think we'll be good. It just depends on our quarterback play and how well he progresses. Tennessee, with all the talent they've had in recruiting, eventually it's going to continue. They've had great recruiting classes. Kentucky's not going to be a slouch.
There's your dark horse. I'm telling you. By the way, I'm not getting paid for this either, and I actually give this guy a free plug, but I'm going to tell you, if you want a book about college football, this is it right here. Phil Steele's College Football Preview. Let's see what it cost me, $12.99. A little pricey, I guess, by some people's standards, but I'm telling you, it is as thorough as any book I've ever read as far as, well, I don't know, on my glasses, 352 pages. I mean, they got everybody. There's Marshall. Here's Toledo, Boise State, Temple. I mean, yeah, that's the team. So let's take a look. Who'd you say the quarterback was for? Yep, Jake Bentley. He's got it, the sophomore. In fact, we'll start breaking down the Southeastern Conference every day. Here's Tennessee. You got to like Georgia simply because Nick Chubb and Sony Michel are both back. They could have turned pro, and they came back. So Nick Chubb and Sony Michel are back in the backfield. Jacob Eason, your sophomore quarterback. So Georgia, but you look at their schedule.
Yeah, but I've got people that come in my barbershop. They've got 2 cars, but they only drive 1 at a time.
Georgia's schedule: App State at Notre Dame, Samford, Mississippi State at Tennessee, at Vanderbilt, Missouri, Florida, South Carolina, at Auburn, Kentucky, and at Georgia Tech. Pretty strong schedule. Pretty what? With Appalachian State? And then Notre Dame? All right, let's look at your Florida Gators. Let's see what he says here. Going down the line. They open up Michigan in Arlington, Texas. 1-0, Northern Colorado. That's a checkbook game. Tennessee, 3-0 at Kentucky. They normally struggle in Kentucky. 4-0. All right. Vanderbilt, 5-0. LSU at home. 5-1. Texas A&M at home. 6-1. Georgia at home. I'm sorry, Georgia and Jacksonville. Okay. How you gonna go? All right. 7-1 at Missouri. At South Carolina. That's 9-1. UAB, 10-1. You got Florida State and Gainesville. Ten and 2 or 11-1 is what you're calling for the Gators. So Jim McElwain, the one day I need my glasses. I need my glasses every day, and left my glasses at home. So Jim McElwain, if I'm reading this right, uh, 19-8 in his third year. Does that sound right? No, he's had more games than that, hasn't he? In 3 years, they played 12. So he's 19-8. I don't think that's correct, and I apologize on my glasses, but his record. Did his record say 19-8 right there? Well, you're talking about two are in trouble.
That's home games.
Okay.
19-8 at home and 41-24.
In his career overall? You think he's coached 65 games in Florida? I don't think so. No.
That's got to be Colorado.
Yeah. So I guess I need to go back and read this, do this a little bit better. So it's packed with so much information I can't read it. Third year in Florida. No, I shouldn't have forgot my glasses. That was the thing. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, you play 12 games. Yeah, that's right. You play average 12 games a season. This is his third year. So 19-8 is what, 27 games? Yeah, that's right. He's 19-8 at Florida. Yeah, I'd be right. Because he played, this is only his third season. The first 2 years, he's played 12 games plus a couple of bowl games. So, yeah. Yeah, so he's 19-8, Jim McElwain. I apologize. Should have been more prepared than that. But, again, with no glasses, I'm doing the best I can do. Then you have Georgia, Kirby Smart, his second year. Yeah, he's 8-5. That's right. So that would be right. McElwain, 19-8 at Florida. Pretty good after 2 years. So, yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go. It's quiz show time at the OK Corral. The Little Red Book. Oh, by the way, before we get into that, talk about Cherokee Barbershop. Closed today, Tuesday through Saturday. How many first-time haircuts? Don't tell me you don't know. You better know every time you come in here because I want to know how many first-timers. Wow. Where's my bell? That's awesome. What was the number last year? So you're ahead of schedule. So we're just so 213 for the whole year last year, first-time haircuts, and so already on July the 10th you're at 109. And last year you got August, September, October, November. You got 5 more months to get a little over 100. Yep. So he'll do it. How many? 100 and 109. All right. Cherokee Barbershop. Tell us about it, my friend.
8:30 to 5 Tuesday through Friday, and 8:30 to 12 on Saturday. Great place to come hang out. I had some guys come in the other day. They didn't get a haircut. They just heard about my pictures on the wall. So they came up. They checked out the ETSU pictures, the Milligan pictures, my golf balls. It's just a great place. I love it. I'm there every day. I've been there this morning cleaning.
Tell us about your golf balls.
I think it's 360 degrees.
Cherokee Barbershop again, South Roan Street, John City, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm. And when the barber pole's out, the Gator Man's in. He's open Tuesday through Saturday. And haircuts are free. Cup of coffee, it costs you $11. Get to keep the cup, but the haircuts are free at Cherokee Barbershop. So there you go. There you go. You can't beat it. So let's jump in there and go. Let's see on the quiz show. And what are the topics, my friend?
Well, let's see. We got football, basketball, baseball, and Milligan.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. We're going to go 5 for 5 today. Number 1. Bobby Bowden. And Bear Bryant. Bobby Bowden and Bear Bryant are the only. Okay, say it again. This is a trick question. This is trick. Right. So these, okay, the all-time winningest coach at 2 different schools. They're the only 2 coaches to do that. Okay, Bobby Bowden was at Florida State. He was also at West Virginia. Bear Bryant was at Alabama. He's also at Kentucky. He's also Texas A&M, maybe. I'm going to say that's false. Hey! There you go. Bobby Bowden is not the one.
Bobby Bowden was there until last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Bowden is not the all-time winningest coach of West Virginia, so very good. So it's Steve Spurrier and Bear Bryant are the only 2 coaches to have the all-time wins record at 2 different schools. Spurrier at Florida and South Carolina, Bear Bryant at Alabama and Kentucky. There you go. I'm 1 for 1. Here we go. I'm feeling good about myself. Don Nelson is the all-time winningest NBA coach? That's false. No. No, he's not. No, I'll argue. Don Nelson of the Boston Celtics has got more wins than Red Auerbach, more wins than Pat Riley. That's a stupid question. Okay, number 3. That's a pretty good question. Don Nelson's the all-time winningest coach in the NBA. Really? More than Pat Riley and Red Holtzman of the Knicks, Red Auerbach of the Celtics. Okay, anyway, you're right and I'm wrong. 1 for 2. Okay, number 3. Stupid question. Yeah, go ahead. University of Texas is one of the most college World Series championships. Oh, boy, this is a trick question. University of Texas, I'm going to say that's false. Oh! USC. Yep. There you go. 2 for 3. That's pretty good. He's done his homework. These are good questions. Milligan College, all right. 2 subpar rounds? What's that mean? I don't know anything about golf.
R72, they were two rounds under par.
I have no clue. I don't even do gorilla golf good at putt-putt, so true. Oh, that was a... There you go. I have no clue about golf. I have no clue. So that was a total. So I'm 3 for 4. Can I finish super strong? Here we go. Wow, that's a great question. Football, swimming, track, cross country. There's 7. Cycling, that's 8. I thought you meant I was walking golf. Anyway, that's 9. You're right. Volleyball. Did I get them all? There you go. You're right. There you go. He's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. The Gator Man, back at it tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. I'm getting energy off these kids.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, you kind of, and they're all happy and smiling and having a big time and yeah, enjoying this camp.
The good thing about this, I get their energy and then leave, and I won't have to have the rest of the day.
And go home and rest.
Yeah, when they're irritable, I won't be.
All right. See you next week.
I'll be here.
You got it. Wherever we are. I'll take a quick break. Coming up in 2 weeks from today, we'll be in West Virginia broadcasting live. So we're taking our show on the road. We'll be at a Hardee's in West Virginia because they've asked us to go up there and do some shows in West Virginia. So we're going to be up there talking Tennessee and West Virginia sports. It'll be pretty cool. Yeah, they just finished it up. And so Shoffley won it.
Yeah.
Xander Shoffley.
First time winner.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful course. A year ago, they canceled the tournament because it was underwater with all the devastating floods in West Virginia. So, anyway, enjoy it. What do you think about your grip?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's cold.
It's hot. Yeah, it's room temperature. But take it home and ice it down.
Tastes like orange.
Should. Ultra orange. Gator colors, orange and blue. He knew that one. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to Coach Robinson, the basketball coach at Milligan College. We got baseball coming up. We got the story on Le'Veon Bell. The Pittsburgh Steelers running backs not happy with his contract. Unbelievable how these guys sign these big contracts. A year later, they're not happy. We'll find out what's going on with him and some college football news as well. We'll take a quick break. Right back at Milligan College. Show number 553 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
We're back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and yeah, he was muted. I'll be doggone the whole show. His whole segment, he grabbed the microphone and muted it. We're not muted now. Coach Robbins is with us, so the only question I missed in trivia, we asked you, and of course you nailed it during the break. I would have never guessed Don Nelson was the winningest coach in the NBA. I would have thought Red Auerbach, maybe Red Holtzman, Pat Riley, Jerry Sloan. There's a bunch of them, but Don Nelson, you walked right up to the table, you asked him the question. It's all Don Nelson. True or false? Yeah, that's true. Okay. But this guy's a basketball guru, so.
He spent a lot of time, though. It was a lot of years for that.
Yeah,
so
he put in his time, huh?
Be more curious to see who the all-time winningest coach winning percentage is, because it would not be him. I don't know who it would be, though. There's where your Red Auerbach comes in, or maybe your Phil Jackson or somebody like that.
Probably Jackson.
Probably Jackson.
Maybe Popovich.
Popovich could be now.
He could be in there, the guy from the Spurs. So we're here at Milligan College. Of course, you see on the screen our basketball coach. Love this guy. And they've put together a phenomenal camp. And is this a high water mark for you guys this year?
Yeah, it's the biggest crowd we've ever had. I think we've had 115 one time, and
that's awesome.
I think we have 166 here today, and we got 2 or 3 kids at baseball tournaments. They'll be back on Wednesday, but we could get up to 170 by the time this is done. So it's created some interesting problem solving, but at the same time we got a great staff, and it's been a good day so far.
So age-wise, you put them in their age appropriate, and it's guys and girls, so it's co-ed. So it starts. What's the little one? First grade.
We have a couple kids that are 6. We have a couple 6-year-olds, but usually we start at 7. We want kids to be able to reach a real basket with a real ball. We don't have adjustable goals and really don't want to. We have some small balls, even just as long as they can reach a goal. That's about where we want to start them at.
We're talking to Coach Robbins, you see on the screen again, the great coach here at Milligan College, and so. This camp, of course, sewn up for this week, but you do have, one more camp, is that correct?
Got one more camp, Colonial Heights Christian Church, July 24th through the 28th, and we've already got 70 kids signed up for that one. So, again, we have 55 was the highest we've ever had out there, so another problem-solving situation for us.
So as a testimonial, I will tell you, my little person came to the first camp, and she loved it so much, she said, can I please come back to the second camp? Coach Robinson said yes, and so she's here and having a blast. So I can tell you firsthand, as a grandparent or a parent, in this case a grandparent, this is where you want to have your kid to have a camp because they have fun, they learn the game, they learn fundamentals. Then what you do, you kind of give them a template or platform. If you want to get better, here's what you need to do. It's up to them to do that, but you give them all the skills and go home and practice and get better on their own. And so then they play some team ball. And it's competitive, but it's not win at all costs, right?
No, not at all. We don't give awards for team championships. We do some shooting competitions, but we've got a couple kids that are playing right now out there that will play varsity high school ball this year, and a couple kids that are young, rising sophomores. I got my eye on that I think could play here in a couple years. So that's always a good advantage too. But these are good kids, they're local kids, and they're having fun, having a good time in the cafeteria. They'll swim this afternoon from 3 to 4 if they want to swim in the pool downstairs. And again, we want to get them excited about basketball.
True or false, basketball is one of the only sports, one of the few sports where you can practice and get better by yourself. All you need is a basketball. You can be dribbling, practice shooting. You can do drills. True or false?
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
We have even college guys that will take the whole summer. They won't play at all. All they do is just work on their game. And I'm not saying that's the only way to get better, but that's the way a lot of guys can just focus on their game, and you can see huge improvements in the summer without even having to be part of a team.
So the point being, if you come to his camp, he shows you the skills. You can go home and cross over dribbles, do this, do that, work on your defensive stance, and so you can do that on your own. And some do and some don't. It's after you give them the template, it's up to them to see how bad they want to do it and get better. But Coach and his staff does that and does a great job. So if you are interested in being involved in the camp coming up on the 24th at Colonial Heights Christian Church, which is a satellite camp, obviously it's not going to be here on Milligan's campus, what do? They call you? They go to the website?
They can either call me. My office number is 423-461-8332. The website has all the information. It's milliganbuffs.com, Buffs as in Buffaloes. Go to Inside Athletics, and there's a camp link there, and they can register right online.
Since we were here last time, back in June, he I don't know if he had any fun or not. He went to this place over in North Carolina where these guys named the Tar Heels won the national championship, where Coach Williams' camp, and needless to say, I guess you're probably in basketball heaven over there, right?
Yeah, I was 11 days in Chapel Hill. Got a chance to do 2 weeks of camp with Coach Williams. A father-son, father-daughter camp with Eric Montross, former NBA, great guy, great, and all the money for that father-son, father-daughter camp goes straight to the Children's Hospital in Chapel Hill. Every dime that those people donate for that. Got a chance to have dinner with Coach Williams one night, and I just got to ask him a bunch of questions. And of course, half of the time we talked to Coach Williams, we're talking about the Yankees. He's a huge baseball fan, a huge Yankee fan, was friends with George Steinbrenner. He's got a million stories. So anytime you get a chance to talk to somebody like that, a legend, it charges my battery and wants me to keep going.
So what separates Roy Williams, those type of coaches, from the other XYZ coaches? What? Because he obviously is a cut above everybody else.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think he was born with that. He's just been super competitive. His competitiveness is off the chart. His work ethic's off the chart. He had to go recruiting one day, took his picture with 750 camp kids in the morning individually. Each kid got his picture taken with him. He flew to Colorado that day, saw the recruits that he needed to see, and was back in camp the next day. People aren't like that. He's wired totally different. A few years ago when the Carolina baseball team was out in the World Series, College World Series, he got his picture taken with every kid. I went to my morning session, came back in for lunch. They had the game up on the TV. They showed Roy Williams in the stands out at the game in Omaha. I went to my afternoon session, my night session, went to the main gym to watch the kids play that night, and he walks in the door. So he was in Chapel Hill, went to Omaha, Nebraska, saw the games, came back and went straight to the gym to watch the kids play. That's the type of man he is. He's just wired completely different. And that's why he is the way he is. He's a legend, and I just love being around him, spend time with him and his staff. He's got an unbelievable staff, and it's a great camp down there. And to be honest, we steal a lot of the stuff that they do at camp down there and do it here. So essentially, it's the same stuff that we do here, same drills, same station, same everything they do down there.
Milligan men's basketball, what's going on right now with your guys?
Exciting time for us. Everybody's coming back next year that started. Probably the top 8, 9, 10 players are all coming back. We've got 2 new guys coming in. Trey Johnson's one of them. He's actually here working camp this week. We got Deshaun Green from Houston, Texas, who just signed the other day, and he'll be coming in. We actually have a recruit coming in tonight, maybe a transfer, and that may be something we can talk about later in the week. But we have one more spot available, and we have a brutal schedule. It's going to be tough, but I'm really excited about this group of kids. They're great kids.
I asked Monjay earlier, the sports information director, is the conference staying the same? I know sometimes you add. I know Brevard's coming. Allen came on board, the Allen University. So is the conference as it is now going to be the same as last year?
It is for the men. We added one on the women's side, but the men staying the same. And obviously Union winning the league and then winning the whole national championship puts a little bit more pressure on us to be competitive. And we lost to them here by 6 last year. It was the closest game they had in the conference for the whole year. So we feel like we're close, and just need to develop these young kids. And they've had a great spring in the weight room and have had a great summer. So I'm looking forward to the fall.
Non-conference schedule, who are some of the teams you're playing?
Right now, Alice Lloyd, we have a relationship with them. We try to play them every year. UNC Asheville's on the schedule. We haven't played them since I've been here. We used to play them all the time when I was at Montreat. Talking to a couple other Division I's that should be interesting. We're trying to nail a couple of them down. Don't want to tell them because we haven't firmed them up yet. We will be playing at the show again in Kingsport, that NEI Division II, really top-notch team. We're still waiting for those matchups, but that'll be over Thanksgiving break. So it's going to be a good schedule. Not as much travel as we've done in the past, trying to stay closer to home, but should be a really interesting year.
So the D1 schools, is it tougher to get them to play you now because you've been successful and they've kind of changed the strength of schedule for March Madness and so on and so forth? So is it tougher to get the big boys to play?
It is. And one of the toughest things now with those Division I teams, all of those non-exempt tournaments that they get to play in preseason, they have to get those all nailed down, and as they're waiting for them to get nailed down, it goes from the top tier teams to kind of those mid-majors down, and it kind of leaks down. And they're still waiting to see who gets in, and they think they might get into this tournament, might get into that tournament. So we had one coach, basically Furman's coach, just told us we're in basically standstill mode, just waiting before those tournaments are set, before they can decide whether we're going to play or not.
So it's a trickle-down effect.
It is. It trickles down all the way to us. But we've talked to Arkansas State, Troy, Western Carolina, Furman, UNC Greensboro. We've talked to UNC Wilmington. We've talked to a lot of teams about playing. We just need to nail down one or two more.
Now, East Tennessee State has opted not to put you guys back on the schedule. Is that correct?
We had no communication at all this year, no.
Which is a shame. It's a great backyard rivalry. But if they're not interested, you got to move on to go in a different direction. We're talking to Coach Robinson. So who are the kids you're counting on right now, July the 10th? Have you tipped it up today and got after it? Who are some of the guys that got to do well this year for Milligan to be successful?
A couple of the kids that are here this week. David Cassidy really struggled shooting the ball last year. Had a great sophomore year. Had maybe a little bit too much pressure on him last year. But he's working camp this week. We need him to be able to shoot the ball well. Jacob Kaywood, second-team all-conference as a sophomore last year. He's working camp. First time we've ever had him work camp, so it's exciting to have him. His picture's on the wall outside. They just put the new pictures up outside, and so he's going to be very important for us. And the point guard position is going to be real competitive for us. Daxton Bostian started last year. He's going to get some competition for that position this year. But we'll need somebody to solidify that point guard position, give us some leadership there. And then Will Buckner. It's time for him to have a breakout season. He's a junior. He averaged almost 10 points and 6 rebounds last year. We need him to bump up and really become the man inside for us.
It all gets started when officially? When do they get in here and you can
flip
the lights on and go?
Yeah, we'll start. They come in about August 14th is when they'll move in. We'll take those first couple weeks and just really get back in the weight room, get them back to ETSU to do testing at their training center over there. First week of September, we'll start. Get a little bit of head start on the NCAA schools.
Talking to Coach Robinson, he always does the devotion for his kids, and he'll do one today. You want to tease us? Tell us what you're going to do. Talk about today.
We have a theme for the week. The theme for the week is actually running the race. We're talking about race. Running the race in a way to win the prize is what Scripture talks about. And today is about relationships, which was A for the R for the race. Tomorrow will be A, be attitude. Wednesday will be about competition. Life is competitive. Whether you want to be in sports or not, life is a competitive part of life. And then E will be about our effort or our work ethic. So that's what the theme for the week is, and we'll talk about relationships today.
You want to talk about your Cubs any at all? You want to let it go? Cubs, they're struggling right now, aren't they?
They are struggling, and boy, it was tough yesterday to see Lester struggle the way he did. But it's I think it's part of that. They broke the curse and finally won it, and then I think it's easy to just do it again. It's very hard to win a championship at any level, but then again to repeat, I think people don't realize how hard it is to repeat. What the Warriors have done has been pretty incredible in the NBA. To see them get back and to see LeBron get there every year is, I think people just assume that he's going to get there every year just because he's LeBron. But what those guys do and how they accomplish is just incredible.
You look at some of the NBA movement since we've been out here, the last show from Milligan. Of course, Golden State wins the NBA championship. You've got, let's see, Harden has signed the biggest contract extension ever in the history of the NBA. You got Carmelo Anthony out there bopping around. You've got, the Cavaliers, kind of some uncertainty there. So the NBA is kind of unsettled to say the least, right?
Yeah, we get to see James Harden play once last year, and he didn't show up. He was sick that day, apparently. You sign a contract like that, you better play every day. You better. The team that's really interests me the most was the Kings. They signed Justin Jackson, which I got a chance to do some camps with him when he was playing and did a workout or two with him. And to see he and Vince Carter on the same team, 20 years apart, Carolina guys, I definitely, there'll be some nights I'll stay up and watch those guys.
There you go. Coach has got to get back out here and run this camp. And again, if you're interested in the next camp, the last camp of the year, go to milliganbuffs.com, right?
That's it.
There you go. He is the man, folks. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Love this guy. He's class act, and we appreciate him very much. Take a quick break. We're going to jump in and talk about the Home Run Derby tonight in Miami and also the All-Star Game. And we'll take a look at Major League Baseball, where we are at the halfway point as far as standings. And some teams will become buyers, some teams will become sellers, and it's going to get interesting over the next 3 or 4 days. The ones in the hunt are going to try and bolster their team. The ones that are out of the hunt are going to sell off everything they can and start a regrouping and a kind of a youth movement. We'll tell you all about that next here. Show number 553, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the parts. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Don't forget again to be sure and enter the contest. We'll be giving away a week from Friday on the 21st. You see on the screen. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Thanks to Jeremy Livesey at JeremyLivesey.com with Mortgage Investors Group. So be sure and check it out. You don't want to miss the chance again to win tickets to Dollywood. A couple of one-day passes you can use anytime between now and the end of the calendar year. Use them in July. Use them in Labor Day weekend, use them in the fall. And they have all the different arts and crafts activities going on in Dollywood. You go back down at Christmas time, whatever. Of course, the cool thing about these passes, because they're free, you can upgrade your pass to get a 2018 season pass at a discount rate after getting these for free. I mean, it's really a no-brainer. So, again, go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. First name, last name, town you're from, and email address is all we need. And also reminding you, we do not sell these off to anybody. So I don't want you to think that you're going to get harassed by some telemarketers or anything, because that is not the case at all. So we encourage you to do that. And so that would be TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And so we appreciate you and the folks already getting qualified. We've got them from 4 states Of course, here in Tennessee, Ohio, North Carolina, and West Virginia. So, cool stuff. All right, let's run down what's going on. The Home Run Derby coming up. We've got it going on tonight in Miami. Here is who is going up against who. Giancarlo Stanton will be going up against Gary Sanchez. Aaron Judge, the phenom, over the weekend, breaking Joe DiMaggio's record for most home runs by a rookie, New York Yankee. He will be up against Justin Bauer. Also, you have Cody Bellinger against Charlie Blackmon. Then also you have Mike Moustakas against Miguel Sano. So that's your home run derby tonight going on in Miami. Rosters for the 2017 All-Star Game, which goes down tomorrow night, have already been announced, but some tweaks are being made because of injuries and the need to replace pitchers to make starts this past Sunday before the All-Star Game. 7 new All-Stars. So you have Chris Archer for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, his second All-Star appearance. Robinson Cano for the Mariners, a second baseman, his 8th All-Star appearance. Chris Davinsky from the Astros, a relief pitcher, his first All-Star game. Brandon Kinsler from the Twins, first All-Star game. Roberto Osuna from the Blue Jays, his first All-Star appearance. Justin Upton from Detroit, his 4th All-Star appearance. And Alex Wood, starting pitcher of the Dodgers, his first All-Star appearance. So there you go. Those are the new guys that are going to be on the rosters because of some changes, either the injury or starting pitchers who pitched yesterday. Winners from yesterday: Brewers beat the Yankees 5-3. Astros all over the Blue Jays 19-1. The Rays beat the Red Sox 5-3. Pittsburgh blew out the Cubbies in Chicago 14-3. Nationals doubled up the Braves 10-5. Phillies 7, the Padres 1. Orioles beat the Twins 11-5. Cardinals blanked the Mets 6-0. LA, the Angels beat the Rangers 3-0. Rockies shut out the White Sox 10-0. Dodgers dominating the Royals over the weekend. They beat them yesterday 5-2. Mariners 10, Giants 8. Reds beat the Diamondbacks 2-1. Mariners blank Oakland 4-0. And Detroit over the Indians 5-3. As we told you last week, Daniel Norris on a 10-day disabled list for the starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. So he's on the shelf for the time being for Detroit. Rocky youngster Kyle Freeland almost pulled off one of baseball's most difficult feats Sunday. Recorded 25 outs before allowing his first hit. 1 out of the top of the ninth. Melky Cabrera ruined the possible no-hitter with a clean single to left field. So Freeland would exit to a wild ovation for the Rocky faithful. So anyway, had a great outing but did not get the no-hitter. But Coors Field is the toughest park in the majors in which to pitch. Even if long balls are not an issue, the outfield is among the biggest in baseball, so it's easy for hitters to find holes for singles and doubles. So Freeland, again, dominated his opponent yesterday. And so it's easy for hitters to find holes for singles and doubles. Freeland avoided all that until the 9th inning, which is a very, very good thing to do. The only no-hitter ever thrown at Coors Field came from visiting player Hideo Nomo back in 1996. And so the Rockies got a no-hitter on the road back in 2010 from Ubaldo Jimenez. But again, nothing at Coors Field. Freeland had a chance yesterday and had that ruined by Melky Cabrera. John Lester got drilled by the Pirates yesterday. Final game of the first half started for the Pirates, who could have possibly, best it could have possibly hoped for it. For the Cubs, on the other hand, could not be going any worse. In the series finale Sunday, the Pirates scored 10 runs in the first inning. 10 runs against John Lester, who threw 53 pitches and got 2 outs before being removed. He got shelled, to say the least. So Lester, 10 runs in 2/3 of an inning against the Pirates. Not a good finish, of course, or not a good start. And certainly not a good finish for John Lester and the Cubs. The National League Central was the butt of many jokes for the first half of the season. Seemed for a while there was no good teams, and something like 83 wins could take the division. Well, need to adjust that thinking after the win on Sunday. The Milwaukee Brewers are 50-41, holding a 5.5 game lead over the Cubs at the break and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Brewers have played 91 games, obviously. We say that because by no means is that some small sample fluke. By the time the break is over, they will have reached the middle of July on an 89-win pace. And so, again, the Brewers are the team right now in the National League Central. Who'd have thunk it? Also, the Astros unbelievable. The Astros go 4-2 on this road trip, scored in double digits in each of the 4 wins, and this team is unbelievable right now. Again, the road record of the break for the Houston Astros at 33-11. That's insane. It's a 70.750 road winning percentage. The best full season road winning percentage in Major League Baseball history is .730, and that happened all the way back to the 1939 Yankees. The only other team to finish above 700 as far as road wins was the 2001 Seattle Mariners. So the Astros are unbelievable on the road at 33-11 right now at the All-Star break and having a heck of a year. Clayton Kershaw threw a complete game yesterday en route to another Dodgers win. Added a 2-run homer himself, but that was the only blemish. He struck out 13. I'm sorry, he did not hit a home run. He allowed a 2-run homer. That's the only blemish. He struck out 13 without walking anyone, and so it made the Royals look pretty lame. He heads to Miami for the All-Star game with a record of 14-2. Clayton Kershaw with a 2.18 ERA. The Dodgers are 61-29. Good for the best record of the majors. The franchise record for wins of the All-Star break is 63, done by the 73 and 74 Dodgers. So this is the 3rd highest win total ever at the break for the Los Angeles Dodgers franchise. So they are, again, having a heck of a first half of the season for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so 2 best teams in baseball right now, if you had to stop today and look at a possible World Series matchup, would be the Dodgers in the National League and the Astros in the American League. So that's what's going on. Again, Home Run Derby tonight, Futures game yesterday. That was won by, let's see, run that down for you. The Futures game kicked off the All-Star break. And so the All-Star game yesterday, the Futures game, Brent Honeywell from the Rays showcased his nasty screwball. Yep, a screwball. Ended up winning the game MVP after striking out 4 in 2 innings. Fellow Team USA right-hander Michael Kopech, I've heard it pronounced Kopech and Kopech, is in Double-A ball with the White Sox, hitting triple digits in the radar gun as he normally does. Team USA knocked the ball all around the yard early, scoring 7 runs through the first 4 innings. And so it was Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I think you know where his daddy, remember his daddy, of course, had a heck of a game for the World Team. And World Team made it a game by scoring 4 runs in the 5th to make it a 7-4 game heading into the 9th. So good time had by all in the Futures game yesterday. So again, that kind of kicked things off. Home Run Derby tonight, and the All-Star game will be coming up, of course, tomorrow night in Miami. So it was a win, a 7-6 win by the United States team, sliding past the World Team 7-6 in Marlins Park. And so Brent Honeywell was the MVP of the Futures game. So that's a look at Major League Baseball. Again, tomorrow night, the All-Star game, Home Run Derby tonight. With that quick break, our final break, come back, take a look at college football. Some pro football, as promised. Take a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and also some college football news and some college basketball news. And our final break right after this, we're live at Milligan College here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
All right, with the Tom Baylor Sports Show for a couple of more minutes. Let's run down the Appalachian League. Again, working to watch Appalachian League baseball tonight here in the Tri-Cities. In Kingsport, Hunter Wright Stadium, they're hosting the Greenville Astros. Elizabethton tonight hosting the Johnson City Cardinals. You have Bristol, the Pirates, home tonight against Pulaski, taking on the Pulaski baseball team. Pulaski Yankees, to be exact. And so all that going on tonight. The other games, Burlington and Danville, and you also have Princeton and Bluefield tonight. And so tomorrow they have the night off for the All-Star game. Standings right now in the Tri-Cities Western Division have Greenville with a half-game lead over the Elizabethton Twins. Johnson City 4.5 games back. In the East, right now Pulaski, the Yankees, the one-game lead over the Bluefield Blue Jays. So that's what you've got going on right now as far as the Appalachian League. Again, games tonight, Greenville and Kingsport, Elizabethton playing host to Johnson City, and the Bristol Pirates hosting the Pulaski Yankees. Pro football news. We told you earlier in the show the Pittsburgh Steelers have one of the league's most dynamic offenses next season, should have. The degree of how dynamic they'll be will depend on several factors. Injuries always a chief concern, and there's a chance that Martavius Bryant, fresh off a year-long suspension, slips up again. But then there's Le'Veon Bell. The NFL's best running back is without a contract. The Steelers slapped him with a franchise tag this spring, but Bell has yet to sign the one-year deal that will pay him $12 million this season. It's not unusual for players looking for a long-term commitment to hold off on signing the one-year franchise tag offer. And the two sides have until mid-July to get a new contract done. At issue is whether the Steelers will pay Bell $12 million a year, which would be $4 million more than the next highest paid back in the league, LaShawn McCoy of the Buffalo Bills. So worth noting, McCoy and Bell ranked second and third in running back efficiency last season. According to Football Outsiders metrics, McCoy will be 29 when the season starts, while Bell will be just 25. 4 years, a long time, and the pounding and the hits and just the grind of the NFL. So, as it stands, Bell and the Steelers are on good terms. The expectations are that either Bell will get a new deal before the start of the season, or worst case, will play 1 year, $12 million franchise tag. So, but what happened to the Steelers if he's not part of 2017? Big changes, no question, for this football team. He rushed for 1,268 yards last season, nearly 5 yards a carry, scored 7 touchdowns, had 75 receptions out of the backfield for 616 yards and 2 more scores. So, again, during the postseason, he averaged 5.5 yards a carry and a couple of touchdowns, but not much in the pass receiving game in postseason for Le'Veon Bell. So we'll see if the Steelers step up and pay him the money. We'll see. But right now he is unsigned as of now for the running back for the Steelers for 2017. As promised, the SEC Media Days underway in Hoover, Alabama. And so right now, Brett Bielema, the Arkansas coach today, Ed Orgeron, the head coach of LSU, and Butch Jones of Tennessee are the 3 coaches at the podium today. Here are some of the things to look at. Defending their turf, expect a lot of chest puffing in Hoover regarding the SEC's continued dominance. This is their time, their belief in their network. SEC is going to have to rally from behind in 2017 to regain that #1 spot among conferences. The ACC has won 2 of the last 4 Heismans and 2 of the last 4 national championships. So Alabama's favored, but what else is new? 26-game winning streak ended with 1 second to go against Clemson. There's little to fear that on this front, unless you're one of those 13 folks that are non-believers. Alabama goes into 2017 ranked #1 of the SEC and probably #1 of the country. Who's #2? That's also one of the questions to be answered coming up this week at the SEC Media Days. Most folks say the second best team in the Southeastern Conference right now is Auburn. They get the second best nod this season, mostly because Jared Stidham makes this offense the most dangerous on the Plains since Nick Marshall back in 2013. There's a new offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, and a rock-solid defensive coordinator, Kevin Steele. And they start the season home against Clemson. Wow. So who's #2 right now in the SEC? A lot of folks think it's Auburn. The conference's depth at quarterback has been replenished. Bama's Jalen Hurts was the offensive player of the year as a freshman. Missouri's Drew Lock may be the most experienced with almost 3,400 passing yards last season. Austin Allen will have to be a gunslinger at Arkansas with Raleigh Williams' retirement. Mississippi State's Nick Fitzgerald leads the league in total offense in a season with little for which to play, and Ole Miss's Shea Patterson gives the Rebels a chance. So Kevin Sumlin under the gun. Texas A&M athletic director called him out during the SEC spring meetings. Sumlin has to win or else after 3 straight 8-5 seasons at Texas A&M. Can't wait till Wednesday when Sumlin hits the podium and no doubt tackle the issue head on. He'll be one of the coaches at the podium on Wednesday, the SEC Media Days in Hoover, Alabama. Hey, before we get out of here and shut this thing down, reminding you coming up on Saturday night, a couple of big events. It's the Crazy Eights Road Race in Kingsport. We'll be there to MC that event. Can't wait. With Hank Brown of the Bucks. We'll talk to him later on this week. Also on Saturday night, we have the world's fastest half mile featuring the Thompson Metal Monster Truck Madness presented by Beef O'Brady's on Saturday evening. Show begins at 7:30. The Beef O'Brady's pit party gets underway at 5 o'clock. General admission tickets for the Thompson Metal Monster Truck Madness presented by Beef O'Brady's are $20 in advance, $25 at the gate for adults. Tickets for kids 12 and under only $5. They've got all kinds of they've got Bigfoot, the Avenger, Dirt Crew, Stone Crusher, Hook, Quad Chaos, Wrecking Crew, and local Bristol favorite War Wizard. The 8 trucks will compete in 2 disciplines, racing and the popular freestyle. So if you're into the big truck, the monster trucks will be at Bristol Motor Speedway coming up on Saturday evening. And if you need more information, go to bristolmotorspeedway.com to get your tickets or call them at 423-BRISTOL. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Thanks to Daniel Monjay of Milligan College, Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fan reporter, the Gator Man from Cherokee Barbershop. We apologize. He inadvertently flipped off his microphone. It was off his entire visit. I'm sorry, did not know that, and so we apologize for that. And Bill Robinson, the Milligan men's basketball coach, the director of the camp, we thank him as well letting us be here and hang out again on this Monday, July the 10th, our 553rd show. And again, we will capture, coming up here in just a few minutes, his devotion We'll shut this down and come back and capture his devotion on Facebook here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let you hear Coach Robinson talking about running the race as a athlete and as a Christian sports athlete or student athlete in 2017. So looking forward to that. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back tomorrow at Phil's Dream Pit off of Interstate 26 again at the Eastern Star exit. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, we will have all the great folks, Phil and Diana Pipkin and all the great people going to be there at Phil's Dream Pit tomorrow, live at Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26, Phil's Dream Pit. Wednesday will be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday at Food City on Euclid Avenue in Bristol. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, if you're interested in going to the Milligan last basketball camp next week, Colonial Heights Christian, you would go to Milligan Buffs, BUFF, MilliganBuffs.com to find out about the information. Again, already, 70, 75 campers ready to go there next week, and 166 campers here this week at Milligan College for this camp that starts today and runs through Friday. Out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Until we re-greet you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Phil's Dream Pit off the Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. As always, we will tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. We'll see you tomorrow at Phil's Dream Pit. Until then, from Milligan College, we say so long, everybody.